let's start with this one because Bash, I want this one, and then I'll go to that one.
This is an interesting story. So basically, after a number of increasingly extreme anti-Semitic rants last year, Kanye has declared that he's all right with Jews again after watching a movie with Jonah Hill. An Instagram post Saturday, Ye shared a promotional poster for 21 Jump Street, a 2012 crime comedy in which Jonah Hill co-starred along Channing Tatum. And honestly, the movie that this is based, or the true story that this is based off, is kind of fucked up. Watching Jonah Hill and 21 Jump Street made me like Jewish people again, Ye wrote. No one should take anger against one or two individuals and transform that into hatred towards millions of innocent people, which is completely contradicting that interview that Kanye did. I forgot who.
Right now.
I forgot who it was with, but someone had asked Kanye to like, hey, if you have it wasn't Alex Jones, but someone has asked Kanye like, hey man, if I have a couple negative experiences with black people and I apply those experiences to all black people, that's wrong, right? And Kanye's like, yeah, that's wrong. He's like, do you do that with Jewish people? And Kanye was like, yes, I do. And now he's basically admitting that you can't throw blanket statements on people. It's like you learned that in first grade.
Who was that? Was that the interview with the Joe Rogan B grade? Oh my God, like dude like who wears suits?
Something like that.
Yeah. Bro, listen, like what
Joe
I'm hearing.
Rogan B grade?
It's crazy.
Right? So like he's like the new he's like the new guy that everybody go to now, and he's like
Are you talking about the Russian dude in the suit?
No, he's not Russian.
Okay.
Man.
So probably is who I'm talking about here.
And he's the same guy that like Mr. Girl started beefing with Destiny about because like Mr. Girl wanted to go on his show and Destiny did knew absolutely like nothing about him.
Yeah. And then Kanye added a little last quote right here. He said, "No Christian can be labeled anti-Semitic knowing Jesus is a Jew." Ye added, and that is completely false. No, everyone's capable of being anti-Semitic, even a Jewish person.
I feel like right now what's going on, man, is Kanye is sitting back and realize, I really don't stand for nothing. Because, like, for example, right? Because when Kanye first started off with this stance, a lot of us view it as, Kanye West is a martyr and Kanye West is standing for something much bigger. Mm-hmm. With this statement right here, it's just very clear that he really don't stand for nothing. He's like wishy-washy. And also, too, bro, let's be real, man, his pocket's hurting right now, right? And he realizes, there's a chance that Adidas may want to work again. Let me come out, and try to rectify whatever I said in the past, bro. I don't respect it because, my one thing is this, bro. Even if everybody is against you, stand on your square if that's what you truly believe. But if he's now saying this, that that shows me he never really, believed this shit, bro. Feel me? But
I think that nigga trolling.
I
think he trolling for the Adidas shit back. I think he just saying that. Like, I think he got the message out that he wanted to get out, and he just doing this just so he could get the money, like you saying, so he can get his deals back. But I think he's trolling. I don't think he really believes none of that. I think he just, why do you think he put a fucking picture of 21 Jump Street? He's either absolutely out his noggin, or he's trolling, or both.
Bro, if this is a troll where he's trying to make a joke about how, this is 21 Jump Street trying to make Jewish people look awesome or great, and he's just like, yeah, now I think they're great because of this movie. Like, that would be insane troll.
I kind of thought it was a troll.
He's trolling. Yeah.
I honestly, feel like watching Kanye go on interviews trying to talk about world issues and, these things that we need to solve that goes on in society, all that stuff. I always get the same vibe that I get from other people who are not smart or clever enough to make the point that they're trying to make. You know what I mean? And I've fallen under this before as well, where I try to make some point, but I don't have the vocabulary to get my idea across correctly.
I'm Kanye?
And I feel like Kanye does the same thing where he goes on interviews and he tries to talk about these things that are happening in the world that's been happening forever, but he just doesn't have the vocabulary and the intellect to portray it, intellectually.
Yeah, no. So I think he's like for example, right? There's different. I
don't think so. I think Kanye West is smart as hell.
Yeah, right. So? Listen, because there's different levels of intellect. So I think that Kanye West can express perfectly exactly what he wants to get out through music. When it comes to speaking and trying to articulate it, that's where I think he has trouble. Again, a lot
of rappers have that.
Well,
not a lot, but we've seen it a lot where a person could be so, they can have the craziest lyrics with the craziest examples and metaphors and all this shit. And then you bring them on an interview and their answers are yes or no's.
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
Yeah, right. And honestly though, I feel like that's more so towards the newer dudes, right? Because for example, in the 80s and 90s, like the dudes who were popping, for example, Biggie, Jay, Nas, those dudes are dudes who can actually articulate themselves, right? You bring the rappers now who is who is zanned out, half on drugs, like tripping. You feel me? Like they really don't got like shit to say, right? But Kanye West should be held to higher standard, right? So no, like I don't think that Kanye West has a trouble
expressing himself.
Yeah, right. I just don't think that Kanye West like truly believes exactly right,
yeah,
right, like for example, like Kanye West don't know like what he wants to get out.
It's kind of crazy that Kanye, like you're saying, he's probably like we could all assume not doing too well financially right now. He's at home watching 21 Jump Street.
Nah, bro.
It's kind of like random and funny.
I think that shit was just a troll. Like he put the 21 Jump Street, he used Jonah Hill as like, oh, he Jewish in there, let me troll them type shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I think he's smarter than he lets on, and I think he says a lot of this crazy shit to throw people off. But at the same time, I think this is just a really smart person who nigga has serious mental health problems. The nigga takes meds. Of course he's gonna say wild shit in interviews, but he's very smart.
Not facts.
I've never seen a nigga stumble on his words or like, you know what I'm saying? Like the nigga is highly intelligent. He just is on meds. He's crazy.
Yeah.
There's definitely we could find clips, I'm telling you, where he like tries to make a point and he just he just like makes these random points, like the Joe Rogan interview, for example, too. Like some of the points he makes just that you don't land.
Drugs.
Oh no,
drugs.
When you're on psych meds, of course it's hard to land your sentence. Nigga, he's on psych meds.
Okay.
Your thoughts can just come and go. You're on psych meds. You got to realize when you have bipolar disorders and all these schizophrenic and all that type, these are not just nigga Tylenols. He's on serious psych meds.
No facts.
Of course, he might just, you know what I'm saying, just lose his thoughts in the middle of a sentence or shit like. And I'm not using that as like an scapegoat. I'm just saying, like, clearly this is not a person who is in the sane mental state.
Yeah. Well, he can't be a complete idiot. He's a fucking billionaire.
And he says it all the time, like, I'm not taking my meds. Fuck these. Wooty wooty whoop. Like, you see what he does when he says it out loud. That's how we know he takes psych meds, because he says it. He says, I ain't taking the meds that they gave me. Like, that nigga be losing his mind. It's the meds, I'm telling you.
I seen the funniest interview. I think it was like Tucker Carlson, where he said something really like just profound and deep, and then he just stops and said, "Yo, I don't even know like what that means. I just said it." Right? So I feel like, yeah, man, and that's Kanye West's like issue, right? Is he hoards in a lot of information. Just like, for example, man, it's kind of like when a kid like discovers red pill and edge humor, right? And he just like has a bunch of these talking points, but they don't really understand like exactly what like socialism or communism or tyranny means, right?
That applies to like not just red pill, the other side as well.
Yeah, what? Yeah.
We're just hearing these talking points and repeating them without actually knowing what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, right. But like, it's majority like the 14. I feel like the age of 14, right? Like once like a kid starts, let's say like high school, and he either goes two ways, like. He goes towards the edgelord BS. He becomes either a jock, right? Or like he becomes like a regular kid. You feel me?
Yeah.
Right? And I feel like Kanye had that edgelord phase, like probably like, like
way later in life.
Yeah.
I was literally talking about this yesterday on 10 Talks with Riley, where I said that I feel like literally around the age of 14, I feel like it happens to people at different stages of their life, where at a certain point you're a kid and all you're doing is just having fun. You don't really have no deep thoughts at all. You're just chilling, breezing through life. And at a certain point, it all hits us at different points where we just start having these deep thoughts, where you start thinking about the world in like deeper ways, all that stuff. And I noticed that I feel like when these deep thoughts enter, I feel like people are more likely to enter the more hippie, democratic type of way of thinking, and then they'll enter the Republican way of thinking later on. You know what I mean? But I feel like when you first have these deep thoughts, you're like, the world is fucked up, pollution and, like all this stuff is happening. Then you like enter that type of